We are back now with yet another look at Iryna Zarutska. By now, people across the globe have seen these pictures of her. We have a lot of new pictures tonight that show you just what an energetic young woman she was, enjoying life here in Charlotte after fleeing Ukraine. Lasting memories for her family, that's now all they have. The murder of Iryna has been the center of many conversations about safety and security on our transit. Concerns about crime and violence on Charlotte's public transit, though, actually go back years. We dug through 5 years of public and safety records, and we found more than 20 accounts of violence in that time.
And our reporter, Glenn Counts, has covered many of those crimes over the years, and he's joining us tonight live from the Transit Center to take us through the events that put the spotlight on safety.
Well, Erica, there's always been concerns, safety concerns about taking public transportation, and we here at Channel 9 have been focused on those concerns for years. But it was probably the death of CATS driver Ethan Rivera that focused the community on transit safety. His murder during a road rage incident in Uptown back in February of 2022 gave drivers a voice to go public and share their concerns about security. A few months after the killing, we covered a similar incident on Nations Ford Road when shots were fired at a bus after the driver drove off refusing to pick up a passenger. Fortunately, no one was injured in that incident. In November of 2023, CATS released a video of a shootout between a driver and a passenger. That happened at the Charlotte Premium Outlets. Fortunately, their injuries were not life-threatening. Then in June of 2024, there was a robbery and a stabbing that we covered similar to the light rail stabbing. The victim survived. On March the 16th of this year, LaShawn McBeath was stabbed and killed at the Transit Center. That incident was next to the light rail platform, and a month after that, Quaylo Trayvon Daniels was shot and killed at the Transit Center. That was also close to the light rail platform. These are just some of the incidents we have reported on. There are others. Private security has been responsible for keeping the terminal safe, but that has been a rocky road with several companies handling that responsibility. Bus drivers tell us they have seen an improvement since PSS took over in December, and they believe it is safer now.
And so, Glenn, you have covered all of those over the years, and now you are hearing about a plan from CATS that they think will help bring down crime, specifically there at the Transit Center.
And you say that means the vendors there will have to move out.
Yeah, Scott, and the reason for that is, let's just be honest, there's a lot of folks who come here, the vast majority, who come here every day to go to work and to do legitimate business, obviously. But one of the issues is you have people who loiter. And with that, people who loiter, some of those people are dealing drugs and breaking the law and doing things that they don't have any business doing. So CATS moved to ask all of the vendors to leave. Why? Because they want to take away any excuse that anybody has to loiter. So in other words, if you're not here to catch on them, to get a bus, to go somewhere else, then, security can ask you for a fare, and if you can't prove that you're on your way to somewhere else, then they can ask you to leave, and they think that will make it safer for everybody who comes here and uses the Transit Center.
All right, Joe, Glenn, thank you very much for that. Our Joe Bruno is here now with us live, and you say that federal funding isn't the only thing CATS has to be concerned about here.
Yeah, the sales tax increase on the ballot is happening in November. But listen, people care more about the fact that Carlos Brown was arrested 14 times than whether we should be talking about if a penny should be raised on the sales tax. Still, it is part of the story, even if it is the least important part of this story. If this sales tax increase for transit passes, the Mecklenburg Public Transportation Authority will be formed, and that authority has the ability to form a security force. We really haven't heard a thing about this until this fatal incident. So we do not know really what exactly this means, if they look outside hires or if they try to form their own force or even just hire CMPD. Right now, supporters of this sales tax increase are rightfully staying low. They're laying low here, and the focus right now, as it should be, is on Iryna Zarutska.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, and we saw so much of her tonight that we never knew before this evening. Both you and Hunter and Hannah, everyone, Glenn did a fantastic job. Joe, thank you very much. We are approaching now the end of this special hour of coverage here for the attack on the light rail, the Channel 9 investigation. Of course, our commitment to covering this story, every angle of it, is just really beginning.
Yes, and since the day since Iryna Zarutska's murder, we have heard from all levels about change, from the city, from the state, from the feds, and from CATS leaders as well. And just tonight, we told you that Mecklenburg County's chief judge is going to review bond policy. State Representative Tricia Cotham pushing to get magistrates more information for bond decisions, and the Zarutska family calling for a full investigation into the light rail security. These are 3 developments that we will continue to follow.
Of course, this whole broadcast that you've been watching, we're just about 50, 60 feet away from where Zarutska passed away. And at this train station behind us is where there is a memorial set up for her with pictures and flowers and teddy bears and ribbons, and just, you can see their notes from people who most likely did not even know her, but just feeling so tragic about what happened. And you can see why this story has struck a chord, not just here in Charlotte, throughout the state, and over the weekend throughout the country and the globe, getting our president involved. This has become an international story. This vigil, we know, is planned for this weekend, an actual vigil. We'll have coverage of that as well, as people will come out here to memorialize her.
We also set up a special website with our ongoing coverage, WSOC-TV.com, Iryna. And there you will find all of our reporting so far and a new timeline of events.
I want to thank you for joining us on this special edition of Eyewitness News. This is a difficult subject, but these are conversations we need to have, and we will continue to have. Eyewitness News at 11 is next here on Channel 9. Thank you for joining us.